We're live, friends. Happy Saturday. Welcome. We are live. It's okay, so things are a little weird today. Nothing's working. Let me try that one more time. Let's see if this thing is working. Okay, we got the sound effects going. Hey, we're live. Okay. Happy to be with y'all. Happy Saturday. Welcome. For those of you who get to hang out with me, who know me, who don't know me, my name is Coriel Weathers. I am super excited to be with you today. It is Saturday morning. Wait a minute. 1 second. I told you we got some weird things happening in the background. Saturday morning here, just outside of the Philadelphia area in the U.S. Super cloudy, a little rainy. We're hanging out. We're having fun. I'm excited to be with you all this morning. Yeah? Yeah. Now, we've been lighting up the stream a little bit this week, or this year, I should say. We've been lighting it up on Saturday mornings to give me the opportunity to, one, write some code, two, get the chance to connect with developers who are doing fantastic things, and three, to just have a little bit of fun together. I legitimately have not streamed for quite some time. I know. Yeah, we've had a couple of weekends here where I was either on a trip, where I had some stuff come up at home, where we had, even this weekend, as soon as I finished the stream, I'm off for another trip, and we've got 2 trips this time. So it's a busy time. It is a really busy time. But I am super excited to just be hanging out with you all. I meant to transition to this screen. I forgot. I'm excited to be hanging out with you all. And so thank you. Thank you for tuning in, for lighting up with me, for having a little bit of fun. Now, for those who don't know me, I do have the privilege of working for a fantastic company, supporting this fantastic product. Shout out to our friends who love Auth0. Yeah. At Auth0, we do a bunch of things to enable us to help you secure your applications through all things identity. And so you'll hear me talk a little bit of Auth0, not a lot. You'll hear me talk a lot about all things .NET, not a lot. I try to keep this a little separate from work so we don't go too far down the work path. But I am excited to be with you today. And if there are Auth0 questions, we're going to try to do something with the Auth0 MCP server. But if there are Auth0 questions we can answer, we're happy to do that. Yeah. Now, so usually before I stream, I keep all of my machine up to date. And sure enough, I checked for updates last night. There were none. I opened the machine this morning and there were some. And so there's an update running in the background for Visual Studio at the present. If you hear some weird chimes, if you see anything weird pop up, I promise you it's because I'm updating Visual Studio in the background. Yes. I didn't expect, I swear I checked this yesterday and I was like, yeah, we're good. Everything's great. We're good. We got everything lit up. We checked the channels. We're live this morning on YouTube. I'm very excited for that. It took us a minute to get the channel back, but we got the channel back. So yay for that. Okay, so remember I talked about this, right? Which is, we've been live and then we took some breaks. We've been working on different projects. I talked to my kids a little bit. We're going to work on a project today that my kids are like, what is it that you actually do? Because my kids, one of my kids really believes that all I do is just sit down and talk in front of cameras for a living. He's convinced that if he becomes a YouTuber, he can do the same things I do. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to build a project today. We're going to do this using cursor prompts and a little bit of code. I'm going to do this. It's the start of something I've been noodling on. So we'll talk a little bit about what that idea is. The other thing is, so we talked about Auth0 MCP. We're going to work on a project for the kids. And what's the last thing? We're going to do all of this in like 60 minutes or less. So I'm pretty sure we've gone live this morning a little bit later than I usually do. I usually go live about 5 minutes before the hour. today we got off to a little bit of a later start, and my machine is acting up. There's some weirdness. We're gonna try to wrap everything up by what is 10 o'clock Eastern, right? So it's 9:07 Eastern, just 7 minutes past the hour. We've got 53 minutes to get into it. So here's what I want to do. I want to remind folks who are watching, if you are joining, please don't be shy. Definitely say hi. More than welcome to jump into chat. If you have no idea of what we're talking about, ask questions. If you have no idea of what you're looking at, just say so. And you know what? Let's all have a little bit of fun along the way. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to turn up the music for me. I'm going to turn down the music for you. And we are going to write a little bit of code. Let me take care of the music volume just really quickly. We're listening to Stream Beats by Harris Heller. Shout out to Harris Heller and the amazing work he's doing there to have some music available that we can use for all things live streaming, video, and the like. Especially since this isn't commercial. That's actually really useful. So let me do that really quickly. Okay, so we got the music down just a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do is swap screens. So what you'll see is my main screen, and you'll see so let me just show this to y'all so you don't think I'm crazy. So look, right? So I legitimately was like, oh, okay, how quickly can we get this done? It's still going. So I don't think we're gonna get that done by the time the stream is by the time we start it, but that's okay. We're gonna let that run in the background. I was also paying attention to a number of dev blogs, so you see this in the background. Shout out to the folks at Microsoft. I've been paying attention to a lot of what they're doing right now as a .NET developer, which is really exciting. Anyways, okay, so let's do something. One, I said we were going to do something with Auth0 and the MCP server. So we've been doing a lot of things at Auth0. I like, it's shocking how many things we've been getting out here. And one of them is, like many other companies, we also have launched an MCP server, which I'm really excited about. Yeah. Now, what does that enable you to do? If you have a client that you want to send prompts to do things with Auth0 or with your Auth0 account on your behalf, you can absolutely use our MCP server for that. The LLM, the client will know how to talk to Auth0 and how to provision Auth0 resources through the MCP server. So you see this here. It says you can delegate tasks like creating applications, configuring APIs, deploying Auth0 actions without exposing credentials, right? So you never have to worry about leaking your credentials or interrupting your flow, right? So you can stay in the client that you prefer and have your client do a bunch of that work for you so that you just don't have to. It really is the bridge. And I love that. With that, I want to try to set this up. Like, I really want to try to set this up, right? This blog post does a really good job of telling you sort of how it works. Let's go to the get started. Okay. So for this, it says we need Node. I have Node on my machine. I'm very sure I have Node. In fact, let's go figure it out. Hold on. I'm just gonna bring up the terminal. And sure enough, see, same thing. Look. Y'all see that? Look. We got a bunch of things we have to update. This is crazy. Anyway, if I hit Node, it will, yes. So I have Node on my machine. Okay, wait. I lied. That was a fail. So let's try this again. Let me go hit the command prompt because I'm very sure I have Node on here. Whoa. Wait a minute. How do I not? Okay. Well, hold on. Let's go do a winget. So let me come back here. Winget, search, Node. I'm sure I can install it from Winget. I'm very sure I had Node on my machine. Everything's kind of going really slow this morning. You almost wonder if the machine needs a reboot. And I almost rebooted. Almost rebooted this morning. I didn't. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so let me grab that ID. It's openjs.node.js. So winget install ID openjs.node.js. Let's see what happens. It's taking time to think. Okay, it's downloading. It's installing. Let's see what happens next. In the background, let me see what's going on. Yeah, so they're just finishing up the Visual Studio update. So that's good. Okay, it's gonna prompt me. A loud buzz is gonna come to your way. 1 second, friends. I knew that was gonna happen. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so we're back. So that was the administrator prompt. My bad. Didn't mean for that to happen. I usually have all this stuff set up ahead of time. I'm surprised. I'm telling you, this is. I literally did the search last night, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. Everything's good. We're good. Guess I lied to myself. I told you everything's running so slowly today. I don't know what's happened. It's almost like my computer's like, it's been a long week. We don't want to do any work. I'm shocked that it's taking this long. Either that or I bet you I'm running out of space. Or something's bogging us down. Because I was doing some space management on my machine, and sure enough, we had too many things on here. I'm just checking in the background, so that way we don't pull everything up on screen. Y'all only have 50 gigs free. So I gotta probably go do some more space management. This is gonna be a fun and laborious stream. Oh man. Okay, preparing to remove older versions. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Removing older versions. We're getting there. I hope it doesn't make me try to restart the computer. The last time I did an update to something, it was like, yeah, you gotta restart your machine. While we check this, let me just double check what else I need. Claude, Cursor, Windsurf for your favorite MCP host. And the good thing is I can use, so I have Cursor, but I'm very sure, let me go to code, Visual Studio Code. Because I'm very sure that I can use Visual Studio Code for MCP, as an MCP host. Yup. Use MCP servers in VS Code. Tell me a story. Oh, I like the way that they describe this. In the way that they do it, MCP support enhances Copilot's agent mode. So if you use GitHub Copilot, which I use to help me when I'm writing applications, I can add a server to Copilot to enhance what it does. That's actually really cool. Here we go. Add an MCP server. You can use sorry. You can use workplace settings, right? So it's specific to the workplace. You can use user settings, so specific to my user settings across all of my workspaces, or we can do auto discovery. I think I want to add it to my user settings. Let me see if I have code open. I do have cursor open, but let me see if I have code open. I don't. Okay, hold on. Let me do this with VS Code. I won't do automatic discovery, and I'll tell you why. It's not that it's a bad idea. It's a really good idea, but here's the problem. There was a note on here that is really important, and I don't want to skip over it. Let me find it. Here it goes. Caution. MCP servers can run arbitrary code on the machine. Only add servers from trusted sources and review the publisher and server configuration before starting it. That's the reason why. I do want to keep this pretty safe while I'm working on it. Yeah. So yeah. Hold on, let me close that out. I'm telling you, there are so many things running on my computer right now. Everything is moving super slowly. God. Okay, that didn't work. Let me restart terminal. Yep. And then let me do that again. And let's go see if it recognizes that node is installed. Yeah, see? Okay. God dang it. This is not Python. Wait, let me see what it says. I forgot how to clear it, how to exit. There we go, exit. There we go. Okay. So, CLS. Okay. So, we've got Node installed. I've got code installed. Let me figure out what they say for code for how to do this for all user workspaces. So if I get rid of this, is this thing still going? It's still going. God, Jesus. I think that's what's slowing me down today. To configure an MCP server for all of your workspaces, you can add the server configuration to your user settings. Specify the server in MCP user settings. Okay, so if I go to code and I go to, let's go to there, let's go MCP. Oh yeah, add a server. Okay, you can do command, right? So run a local command that implements the MCP protocol, or you can connect to a remote HTTP server that implements. I think it's HTTP because they have their own server that's deployed for us to connect to, right? So what they say, install and configure. Oh, but this is for doing it with Claude. See, I feel like I should be able to do this. Oh yeah. Look, they got instructions for other things. Come on. Cursor, windsurf. Get command line hope. What was that? Oh, that's Visual Studio. It's finally done. Good grief. Got it. Okay, so this is what I would have to do. I'd have to add this command with these args, with those capabilities, and then put a specific environment variable in place. Got it. Let me copy that. Copy that, okay? Then if I come back here, and I come back here, and I come back to here, I should be able to see the settings.json. So can I go to settings? No. Settings, open user settings, right? And then can I come to, where's MCP? Added in settings.json. Fantastic. Here it goes. Look. There it goes. Okay, so now I could do this. Nope, don't do that. I could do this. Off zero. If only I could spell off zero. Okay, now it put a bunch of stuff in there for me already and it should not have. So let me go get rid of all of that because I don't need this. Okay, now args. That's correct. Capabilities. It looks like it doesn't recognize that. I wonder why. And then environment. Okay, now I need to close a curly brace. Let me just double check. That. Yeah, we should be good to go. So if I save that, yeah, it doesn't like this. So this is gonna get interesting. I wonder if this is not gonna work. Let's find out. Okay, hold on. Let's try this out. Code. What's up, Janisku? Good to see you in chat. Our friends are joining in chat on Twitch, by the way. We're live. I didn't think I mentioned this. We're live on Twitch, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So if you want to join the conversation, you're more than welcome to from any one of those platforms. We've got Restream pulling everything in together, which is really, really, really nice. Really, really, really nice. But yeah. Okay. That's cursor. I said code. Hold on one second. I was trying to restart code. I'm trying to add the Auth0 MCP server to Visual Studio Code. Let's see if this works. Because why not go against the grain? Visual Studio Code. There it goes. I'm telling you, my computer's just on the fritz today. I don't know. It's almost, it's just giving up. It's like, I don't want to work. What are you doing? How dare you? Okay, so I see it there. So we're good there. Now let me go to, oh, you know what I'll do? Let me create a folder. I'll create a new project, new folder, open folder. And let's go to code. It's on the D drive. On the D drive. Yep. Let's go to proof of concepts. And then let's do MCP tester. Okay. And I'm just going to select that folder. There's nothing in there, right? We're just going to put like an index.json. Doesn't matter. Because really what I need is Copilot chat. I hit the wrong thing in the settings. No, stop. Okay, so Copilot chat is over here. And I want to move it Y'all can't see it because it's behind my face. But let me see what this says. I'm gonna change this to, hold on. Okay, you can see it's just there, right? Just there. I'm gonna change this to agent mode, and I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say, can you help me create a .NET Aspire application? No, a .NET application that uses Auth0 for identity. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so you see it's like activating extension. So things are going on. I haven't tested this at all. First time doing this. Live on stream. Why not? Great idea, yeah? Every time I see this, I'm always like, what is this? Something just ran on my machine that it should not have. That's so weird. Well, it's working. Happy to see you. Our good friend Cecil's in the house. Cecil has said, hey, what we working on? Actually, you know what? It's a good time. Hold on. Let me switch to chat real quick. Let me just go say hi to our friends in chat. Welcome to our friends in chat. Janisku's in the house. Cecil's in the house. Good to see you all. We're at the halfway mark. I told y'all we have it's 60 minutes to get this done. We're 29 minutes in. So I'm doing two things this morning. One is Auth0 has released an MCP server, like every other company, because why not, right? Like if you're doing anything today, you want to be able to have your APIs, your platforms, your services interact with tools like Cursor, Claude, GitHub Copilot. And so Auth0 has released an MCP server that will facilitate that communication. So I was trying to see if I could get that set up just to see how it worked, because I actually haven't played with it myself. Two, so my kids don't believe that I actually work. And I know that sounds weird, but my kids fundamentally believe that a lot of what I do is just sit in front of cameras all day. So we've had a conversation, and I was like, no, like I actually know how to build an application. And so I'm going to do a little bit of vibe coding. We're going to switch here actually very quickly because it looks like this MCP thing's taking longer to run than it should have, but I think it's more because of my machine. But I want to do a little bit of vibe coding. I want to build an application to help them learn to do math, and in particular, fractions. So they're both at a spot where they're learning how to add, subtract, multiply fractions. And so what I'm thinking is, well, it'd be really cool if we could vibe code our way into an application to do this. Do it with some .NET. I've found Cursor to be very interesting when building with .NET, so that's interesting. And then I want to see how far we get before I then show it to them at the end and be like, hey, look, here's how far we got. So I'm going to show it to them off of the stream. We have a hard stop today right at 10 o'clock because I have two trips. Immediately right after this, I'm getting right out of the house. We have to go run some quick errands, and then we're hitting the road. And then that's the first trip. And then I'm on a second trip this week for work. So wait a minute. I just realized something. Hold on. This is terrible. We have a trip this weekend. I have a trip next week. And then next weekend, I'm at a fundraiser. So we're like, it's just crazy busy times. Crazy busy times. Good busy, but crazy busy times. So yeah, that's it. Cecil says, hey, yeah, my son probably thinks the same. When he's off school and at home during the day, constantly asking me to come play video games. Yeah, my kids come in all the time with their books. We have an agreement. They have to read at least 30 minutes a day in order to get more privileges. And so they'll come and show me the things that they're reading and tell me the stories about it. And I'm sitting on a Zoom call like, yeah, so let's talk about this budget thing. Hold on, wait, I'm getting a notice about Sonic. So yeah, that's how these things go. But we love it. We love it. All right, let me switch back here real quick. We were just doing this MCP thing. I'm gonna see if it can just do a regular one. Can we just do a regular Blazor app? So what Copilot tried to do was it tried to go get some Auth0 some Auth0 templates. Shout out to one of my peers who's also a Microsoft MVP, Andrea Chiarelli. He has worked on this and had gotten these, and so shout out to them for being able to pick this up. What's interesting for our friends who are watching, because I have not played with Copilot in a long time. I've been doing a lot more cursor work these days. I'm curious as to what this is. Like why it is that it keeps telling me that it's using this reference. I'm very curious. If y'all know, let me know. I have no idea. Jesus, they're asking me for a lot of confirmation. Let's go with standalone Blazor. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay. Not now. The last time I tried to do an update on stream, it failed miserably. Not now. So it's telling me that I should run the command. Is it running the command for me? It doesn't look like it. See, this is where this is why I haven't done a lot of Copilot work. It like throws up at a certain point, and I'm not sure why. Yeah. Okay, so hold on. Let me do a little reset behind the scenes. I'm going to switch back to this screen. We're going to do a quick reset so I can swap over to cursor because I have to switch gears, and then we'll come back and you'll see the MCP thing didn't work out as well as I wanted it to, which is unfortunate. I know. Disappointing, isn't it? Disappointing. Let me do something. I'm just setting up our fractions proof of concept. So 1 second. Fractions. Select the folder. And here's the thing, right? So this is a part of why I'm spending a lot of time in cursor these days. I am really good at all things backend. You tell me how to move, like how to structure an API, how to architect an API, how to design things, how to ensure you think about components and scalability, and the fact that like you may want to do some, some queuing and do a little bit of notifications and even logging and open telemetry. I'm really good at all of that. You tell me to go design something with CSS and I'm looking at you like, what? Excuse me? No. So this is where cursor is really fantastic for me. But what I've learned is you can't just blindly rely on these things. You really have to have an opinion about what you want these tools to do with and for you. So that's what we're doing right now. I'm setting up a project, and I'm going to do it in a few different ways. But I'm setting up a project to do our fractions things. It's going to be a .NET project because everything I do is in .NET. You can do everything with .NET. But we're going to make it a Blazor application. It's going to be a WebAssembly, right? So Blazor WebAssembly. I don't really need the server for this, not for the basics. If I introduce something like Auth0, right, for identity, or I introduce something else, maybe, but, and then we're just going to let cursor design the UI of it very explicitly. And we're going to see how this goes. Okay. So let me go switch gears. I've got our project. It's just a blank cursor thing. And cursor's just, it feels like it's very simple, just like code, just like Visual Studio. I'm going to try this out. Create. Oh, wait, let me bump that up and bump that zoom up for y'all. Create a Blazor WebAssembly application to help kids learn how to add and subtract fractions. Make the UI as animated with characters and sample problems, and include sample problems. Okay, let's see what cursor does. Okay, so here's where cursor starts to run into problems. It will legitimately not be able to finish some of these commands, and things will go left very quickly. Very quickly. Okay, so there goes our fractions app. What did it give us? Good. It gave us a sample. It gave us a sample project right there, right? So that's good. And I can see it's got everything here. So that's fantastic. Let's see what happens next. Okay, navigate into the project directory. Sure. Ooh, okay. Now we're starting to get into the meat of things. Create the necessary components and models for our fraction learning application. They're creating a fraction model class. So this is supposed to represent the parts of a fraction, right? I'm good with that. It's a numerator, denominator. There's a little bit of error checking in here, right? If you look in here, wait, hold on, let me see. Yeah, there's a little bit of error checking in here. And then they've got greatest common denominator. They've got an operator overload, it looks like. Yep, they've got an operator overload, it looks like. So let me accept that. That's interesting. Now let's create a component for displaying and solving. And they did that in fraction problem .razor. So let's go see fraction problem .razor. Where'd they put it? Fraction problem .razor. They put it in components. Now, why'd they do that? So they've got this in a weird, I told you, it does some weird things. They've got this in a weird folder structure. Okay, so we have a fraction problem, character container. If it's animating, use a specific image, fine. Let's solve this problem. Okay, they've got the parts of it, the operator, the parts of it, the equals. Then they've got buttons to generate an answer and do something. Let me accept it and see what it says. Okay, update the main page to use our new component. So they're gonna update the index file for this. Now, if I go to index, okay, so the directory change was bad because it's moving everything in the wrong directory. So hold on, let me stop this because this won't run as it is. Let me move this here. Told you, you can't just blindly accept these things. Let me move this here. And I'm pretty sure the namespace is off now. And then www root images. So I'm going to move images into www. Okay. So there that goes. Now, imports.razor is going to go here under www. And that should fix that. Then what's in pages? Index.razor. Okay, so I'm going to have to merge these two files. Hold on. 1 second. So if I come up here, this is a part of why you just can't blindly trust things. Look, and now my computer's like hanging up. What the hell? I'm telling you. Okay, so let me come to pages. Oh, no. There's a home page. And homepage, okay, so watch this, right? Homepage, this is, I told you we have to merge this. Because look at this. Let me close all but this, right? So close others. And let me open up index.razor and then let me split them. And the very first line is where this would break. If I truly just copied this index.razor into the pages directory, this would break. And the reason why is because it has the same route. This is how you define the route. But if you notice it, they put the same things in there. These tools are not that smart. You gotta be really careful in here. It literally is the same thing. So what I'm gonna do, instead of trying to merge, I'm just gonna delete this because we don't need it. Our friend Cecil says the same. Cecil says, look, I find these tools are really good at small specific changes to get what you want out of them, right? You gotta give it context. You have to make sure that you know what you're asking for of it in order to really get the value out of it. Alternatively, if you're trying to do things like what we just did, where we're like, yeah, let's just see what happens. Yeah, that clearly, if you have no idea of what you're doing, that would fail. Wait a minute, what'd I do? Okay, let me fix this. So let me fix that, close that, delete that. Come here, there's nothing in that folder, delete that. There's nothing in this folder, delete that. Okay, Now, so we got pages, www root, components. Okay, I think I'm good with this. Let's build this and see what happens. So let me come to the terminal and let's just go .NET build. What the? Okay, .NET build. Oh, wait a minute. They put everything in the Fractions app folder. God. Fractions app. Did I not spell? Oh, I didn't. I put fraction app. My bad. Okay, so it's gonna find the CS proj folder file, and then go build it, and then let's see what happens. It's hot in here. God, it's hot in here. Okay, so we're gonna restore a bunch of things. And I'm using some preview version. Don't worry about that. Because I just updated Visual. Okay, so some of you may not have been here. I updated Visual Studio in the background and it didn't work. And so it ended up going into the time that I was running, the stream. And so now I wouldn't be surprised if some things break, because I'm probably using a version of .NET that I would not have been expecting. Why is that failing? The name keyframes doesn't exist in this context. Say what? But it's in style. Let me see if that fixes that. I wouldn't have expected to see that. That's actually a really interesting error. Okay, let me clear the screen again, and then let's do a .NET build again, and let's see what happens. Same error. I'm not concerned about the warnings because we're using a preview version of .NET. But that's an interesting error. Let me ask it if it knows how to fix this. And let me add context. I'm going to give it this file. I bet you it's because it's in the Razor file. I may ask it to move it to a CSS file. File. Fraction problem. Oh, y'all can't see that because it's behind my face. So hold on. I'm getting this build error. What would you suggest we do to fix it? Okay, so it's behind my face. Let me move that over. Check that out. Let's see what comes up. No way. I did not know this. For the .NET folks watching, is this true? It said the error occurs because keyframe CSS rule needs to be properly scoped within a style block. In Blazor, we have to use different syntax for that. I didn't know that. Did y'all know that? And this is only for animations. Keep the animation name and the keyframe percentage is the same, but just fix the syntax. This should resolve the build. Let's see if it resolves the build. Oh, wait. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, .NET build. Nope, it didn't resolve the build. Let me just make sure. Hold on. Let me make sure of two things. Yeah, let me make sure of a couple things. That all of the file changes. Yeah, okay, wait. So I didn't save the file change. 1 second. I'm gonna try that one more time. .NET clean. Get rid of any NuGet references. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do that one more time. .NET build. It said build succeeded, but yeah, I didn't think that was the same. That did not fix that. Okay, so let me tell it. That didn't fix it. What if we took the keyframes out? Because all the keyframes are there for is for animation. And then that's it. And then with that, let me do a .NET build again. I wonder if Copilot would figure this out. Nope, same problem. I'm betting this because that CSS is in there. Yup. So it looks like it may not even be picking up the latest version of the file. Because it says the name keyframes doesn't exist in this current context. If I go to that file, oh, it does still exist there. Well, no. I just want to see what's going to happen. They always tell you, get it built and then go improvise. And why is this still in here? I thought I moved this. I swear I moved this. There's weirdness going on with my folder structure. Okay, give me a second. Let me fix the folder structure. I want this building before I get off. And we have 5 minutes, because then I got to start wrapping this up. So 1 second. I'm going to close this out real quick. This is reinforcing why Cecil's advice was sound. Cecil's like, yeah, I do my setup myself. Why are we even bothering with these things? These things have no idea of what they're doing. Okay, hold on. I'm going to take all of that and just move it up. Okay? Yeah. Replace the files. I don't even want to merge. We'll fix it. Okay? Then, let me come back. It's a good thing I know what I'm doing. If I didn't know what I was doing, this would be a terrible experience. Now let's see if I can actually prove that I know what I'm doing. Okay. So, let's come in here. We've cleaned up the folder structure, so we're okay there. Our component is just right here. We're okay there. It's got all of the code here just directly within the file. I'm fine with that. Sure, in a perfect world we'd move it, but that's fine. Layout stuff's fine. Model's fine. Yep, it's in the right namespace. Let's go to the imports real quick. Layout fractions app. It's not being used anywhere there, so that's okay. Pages, we got counter, we got home. Sorry, home has some CSS stuff. I would prefer to see them move the CSS stuff into one file, but that's okay. Okay, so now let me see if this builds. Okay, now where's our error? That's a warning. That's an error. It's still saying the same thing, even though I commented it out. So let's see if keyframes is in here. No. Okay, so let me clean. Oh, oops, .NET clean. It should not see the keyframes. And yet, for some reason, it still does. So what if I just... Let me see if keyframe shows up anywhere else in here. Nope. Okay, so what if I just deleted it? All right, and then let's do this one more time. Well, we're getting further. Look at that. Didn't fail so quickly. Build succeeded with 7 warnings. And I'm not worried about that part. So if I go down that run, it's going to build it again. I should have put the no build flag on there, but that's fine. And then it'll run probably on 5001. I just want to see what it looks like. Oh, 5028. I'm surprised that we don't have, I'm surprised that we don't have an HTTPS URL. That's shocking. Okay, so it's loading. Welcome to fraction learning. Did I like miss something? Was there meant to be something on the page? Is there a console error? There's like no console error. Okay, so this did nothing other than set up a web application. Wait, let me go look at what was supposed to be on the page. See if I go to home, right? Okay, it was supposed to render fraction problem. And why didn't it render fraction problem? Let's find out. So if I get rid of that, on initialize, generate new problem. Generate new problem was supposed to give us a fraction, and that fraction was supposed to give us a problem. Fine. Then, literally removing the keyframes. Okay, so let me see something. Let me just see something. Okay, let me ask Cursor. Hey, Cursor. Hey, can you still render, update the CSS so that the problem still renders? Forget about anything animated. That was a mess. Oh man, that was a mess. Let's see what Cursor says. Oh, and I didn't add the file context either. Oh, but it did get that. So that's cool. It actually was super smart. I just asked it to update the CSS and it realized that it needed to do it for the fraction render. So that's good. Let me see what it's changing. Yeah, it's moving all of the animation, removing all of the animation stuff. That's good. Okay, so now let me hit check on that. And then let's do this one more time. We got 4 minutes. I should have did this in Visual Studio so I could do a hot reload. I don't know why I didn't do that. What a shame. We're getting there, friends. We are getting there. Okay, so let me come back here. Let me go back there. Let's close that. Control Shift R. What happens? Still nothing. Let me see what's showing up in the HTML tree. App. Page. Sidebar. Main. Okay, main. Div. Article. and then nothing. Okay, so let's see what's supposed to be in the article. Container, welcome, lead. Yeah, nothing's rendering. This is interesting. So we learned today that Cursor has gotten this wrong yet again. Okay. So now we're going to fix this. Okay. We've got 2 minutes. I'm not going to fix this now because I told you we got trips. I'm going to fix this while I'm on the road. And then I'm going to probably write some content about this on the Blue Skies and all things Medium and the blah, blah, blahs and the what have you. What an experience. This is where you do want to sit back and just be like, okay, for everyone who keeps saying AI is coming for developers' jobs, it's not. It's clearly not. Because now I'm just going to go fix this myself by just writing the code that I would want to. I do like the structure that they put in place, right? So I really like I like the model and I like the methods that they put in there. And I do like the idea of having this as a component, and then I can just drop this component in. Because what I can do with this model is I can add more operators as an example. So let me get rid of this. I can add more operators as an example, right? They have a plus operator, they got a subtraction operator. I can do a division. I could do other things like give me multiple. They did the override of the 2-string. I love that. This is fantastic. But yeah, we got some work to do. So this is good. All right. 60 seconds. Wrap this up, Corey. We're out of here, friends. This was an interesting day. Our MCP server didn't work. Our MCP server configuration. I got some feedback for the team, so I'm going to give that to them next week. The other side to this is Cursor didn't work for our vibe coding thing. So now I got to spend more time trying to prove to these kids that I actually know what I'm doing. So this is going to be interesting. Here's what's happening. We're on the road this week. I'm out of here literally in just a couple of seconds. We're back. I'm back on Friday morning. I get back Friday morning. And then we've got a fundraiser on Saturday. And then I think I'm back Saturday evening, back live, either Saturday evening or Sunday morning. So I say that to say we'll be back live sometime next week. If you want to make sure you stay along with the journey, make sure you follow. Just down in the corner, like the bottom right corner there, is Coriel Weathers. I am that handle on all the places. I don't check Twitter any longer, but I do stay active on a number of the other platforms. So if you're looking for me, go find me there. In the meantime, enjoy your weekends, friends. We're out of here. It's your boy Coriel Weathers saying peace. Have a great weekend. I'll see you soon.